This is the Flowerevolution series, My Life in Flowers, and today I'm going to tell you about a beautiful ritual that I had after a Temazcal in Oaxaca, Mexico. And this ties into how flower essences have been used historically in the book, and also some questions around how do you prepare your body for taking flower essences or for taking a new flower essence. And this is called a Florecida, and I was on the southern coast of Oaxaca, Mexico, and I experienced a full moon Temascal ceremony. It's similar to a sweat lodge, except that it takes place inside a mud structure. The ceremony began with offerings of corn and herbs to the four directions, along with prayers, invoking positive spirits and forces of nature. And each of us in our small group was cleansed with sacred burning herbs from the region, and the spicy smoke curled around the curves of our bodies. Then we removed our clothes and entered one by one into the mud hut. The burning coals were stoked and it was hot. It was so hot, and it was pitch black. I couldn't see my hands in front of my face. We stayed in there for what seemed like ages, beads of sweat rolling down our skin, using long bundles of fresh herbs to whack our arms and legs and stimulate circulation. When we emerged, a woman was standing in front of a huge well with hundreds of flowers strewn on top of the water. She motioned to me to stand in front of the well while she dumped an entire bucket of flower water over my head. It was so refreshing, and as the cool water flooded over my hot skin, every cell in my body responded, and I felt as if years had been lifted away. I didn't feel like speaking, and my senses were acutely aware of every sound, every sight, every smell. The night was dark, and the earth seemed to vibrate around me. This chapter talks about bathing rituals that you can do to prepare yourself for new flower essence remedies. It also goes into ways that we see flower essences make their way into Central America, into Asia, in different rituals. There's a recipe for a cleansing detox bath. There are answers to some of the questions that you might have, like how do I choose the right elixir? Is it more effective to take a single flower or a blend of flower elixirs? How do I take them? How do I know if they're working? What happens if I have a response that feels like it's the opposite of what I want it to do? These are all the questions that we tackle in this chapter. Do I need to believe in them to work? How long do I use them for? What if I'm sensitive to alcohol? And how can I use flower elixirs to boost social or work situations? And then we give the instructions at the end of this chapter for an exquisite fresh flower cleansing ritual. You can do that same ritual that I had for myself in the Temazcal in Oaxaca. You can do that right there in your own backyard, and it gives you the instructions for everything to do. It is a beautiful, absolutely transformative practice.